Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic for this week is presenting concept. Supposed to be, I had to meet you via Zoom last Monday, but suddenly the techno trend, our internet connection, had their maintenance. So I was not able to meet you, but I have this recorded discussion and send it to the Google Classroom for you to understand our discussion or our topic, which is presenting concept. Let us have a review. Last time, we discussed about developing concept. What is a concept? Those are the ideas that we need to unlock. And to develop a concept, to present it, we have to write the definitions. Now, there are three kinds of writing definitions: the formal, the informal, and extended. When formal, it has the term, the class, and distinguishing features or the characteristics. And in informal, it only gives the term and the class. And lastly, extended, that is the definition using paragraphs, okay? Giving examples, not just the class, not just the features, the characteristics, the quantities, the qualities. That is the extended definition. Those are the three ways in writing definitions in order to develop a concept. Expectation. Let's move my face here. After going through this module, you are expected to determine the ways a writer can elucidate on a concept by definition, explication, and clarification. Ipagpapauna ko na sa inyo na I am not going to give you a task na gagawa ng concept, okay? Kasi napakatagal na process yon. And we're going to discuss the ways or the parts of developing a concept or presenting a concept. What is a concept paper? When you say concept paper, it is a document which summarizes what your project is about. The summary. Why is it important? And how you intend to carry it out. It consists of the topic under research, the hypothesis that you seek to approve or disapprove, research questions, data required, and methods of obtaining it. It is sometimes known as a proposal or an abstract. The latter two are usually more detailed than a concept paper, but often serve the same purpose. That is, to convince the party evaluating it that the research project is worthwhile. So that is a concept paper. The summary of a project, okay? It is used to show the importance and the different topics in that research, okay? Take note that concept paper is under research, hypothesis, research questions, and data, okay? The methods in obtaining it. How to make a concept paper. In writing a concept paper, here, the first step in writing your research project, okay? When you are having a research project, you have first to make a concept paper. What are the concepts and how you unlock them, okay? A winning concept paper will capture the attention of whoever is reading it and get you the result you need. Below are the steps you need to follow to ensure that your concept paper will get a smile and not a nod from the reader. These are the different steps. First, come up with a research topic that genuinely interests you. You have to find a research topic. What is your topic about? Okay? What is your topic? And here, the research topic should span areas that interest you. You must have the interest into that topic, a certain topic, as an individual and are still relevant to your area of study or course. Of course, it should be aligned to the area of your course or your study. Take note of that. How do you come up with a research paper? How to come up with a research topic as you studied throughout your junior classes. You may have encountered certain concepts that awoke your curiosity. What is that? What is that word? Okay? Those are the some questions that come into your mind when you have your studied and you do not know anything or some of the details of it. Okay? This may give you ideas of what your research could be about. Alternatively, while randomly reading a newspaper, watching TV, reading books, and so on, you may have come across ideas or concepts that aroused your interest. This can serve as research topic you may consider pursuing. Personal experiences can also be good starting points when you are searching for a topic to write about. Afterward, choose the area that interests you most in the list you made as the one in which you will carry out your research. Ensure it is a topic that is academically relevant and researchable. You have to find a research topic, but take note that it should be academically relevant and researchable. And of course, it caught your attention. It awoke your curiosity, and it is your interest. But make sure that it is aligned to the course or your study. That is the first one. Next, write down the research questions you need to research on depending on the idea you have chosen. You can come up with as many questions as possible, but it should have sense, of course. The more the questions, the longer research paper will be, as it will seek to answer each of item, of course. More questions, more opportunity for you to answer them, okay? The questions can range from exploratory questions, where you want to find out more about the topic under the study. Explanatory questions, where your aim is to explore the relationship or lack thereof between two or more variables. And descriptive questions, such as determining the average, the means, the modes of a variable or variables in the topic under study. List down all the questions. That is number 2. Next, develop a research hypothesis from each of the research question that you have listed. What do we mean by hypothesis? It is here, I'm going to read. Also known as a thesis or thesis in plural, is a tentative, usually informed or educated guess. That's it. When we say a hypothesis, it is an educated guess. Yung akala mo. But you have, dapat meron kang backup, okay? Meron kang mga evidence bakit yun yung guess mo. That is educated guess or hypothesis. Hindi ka lang nag-isip na siguro ganto, siguro ganyan. It should be educated. You have to, dapat informed ka. Okay? You have the background, you have some ideas na pinagkuhanan, that is educated guess, about a certain scenario. It is referred to as an educated or informed guess, as it is based on some prior knowledge about the topic, either by some pre-known theory. Dapat may idea ka. It could be a theory or a previous research you may have carried out. The hypothesis is what you will either prove or disapprove when the research is done, and thereof be able to draw your conclusion. You cannot draw your conclusion without your hypothesis. Okay? Next. Next step. Identify the kind of data you need to answer these hypothetical questions and how you will gather the data. Depending on the type of research you are carrying out, data that you may need may include actual members or actual numbers, averages, and so on. Data can either be primary or secondary, qualitative or quantitative. When you say quality, the characteristics, quantitative, it is a number, okay? Could be primary or secondary. Primary data is first-hand information, okay? That is the ideas, the main ideas or the information obtained from the ground. For example, by carrying out interviews and site visits. When we say second data, is second-hand information obtained from reading books, watching news, videos, the internet, and other already documented material. Okay, that is secondary data. Qualitative data is based on subjective factors such as people's opinions. That is quality, okay? While quantitative data is based on actual number and is therefore more objective. Okay, did you get it? Next, identify how you will analyze, interpret, and present the data. Your technique. Come up with conclusive and tangible evidence to prove or disapprove all the hypotheses you had stated earlier. Methods of data analysis include the use of statistical analysis. We can apply that, such as mean, totals, income, or the general relationship between variables, which can be enhanced by the use of graphical methods where possible. Having developed all the above, you are now ready to come up with your concept paper. Okay? If you finish those 5, we can say that you are already ready or prepared to come up with the concept paper, which will detail each of the steps outlined. The following is the genuinely how to structure your ideas for the perfect concept paper. Now, in making concept paper, we have different parts. Now, in order to structure those, we're going to discuss it right now. How to structure your concept paper. Okay, these are the following, which I'm going to show you, are the major elements of the concept paper format. First, of course, the title page. You must create your title. You should begin with a title that fully summarizes what the project you are carrying out is about. It is not just a word, because a word cannot summarize your work, okay? Make your title that summarize what the project you are carrying out. Avoid being wordy. But avoid being wordy. Baka mamaya ginawa nyo namang paragraph na. It should be simple but precise, okay? And stick to the main point. That's what I said, precise. Second, ito, alam na natin to, introduction and statement of the problem. This serves the most important part of the concept paper. Take note, introduction and statement of the problem is the most important part of the concept paper. Why? You must be seeking to add value and convince the reader that you are doing so. For example, your research should seek to solve the existing problem or provide further insights into a scarcely researched topic. The problem should be clear. Why would you want to investigate the topic under the study? It should be indicated in the introduction. In how your research will be helpful in achieving this. Okay? Where herein, you need to provide the evidence that research you need to carry out is necessary in that it has not been carried out before and has not been adequately done. Okay? Make sure na hindi pa nasasagot yon um, ng mga readers mo. Make sure na yung study mo hindi pa napapatunayan ng iba. Here are some questions that may help you nail this element. Here. What is the problem? Anong problema? Okay? Ano yung, saan ka nako-curious? Na nako-curious din yung readers mo. Why do you feel that it is important? The importance, the value. Okay? Next. How does your study relate to or add to research that has already been done? Okay. Dapat na i-relate mo din siya sa ibang research. Take note na yung curiosity nila andoon pa rin, hindi pa nasasagot ng iba. Next. Value of the study. When we say value of the study, the importance, outline specific groups of people who the study may benefit and how it will benefit them. Okay, why? Paano? Yung characteristics, bakit nila kailangang malaman yon? Okay? Anong mapapakinabangan nila? Next, a preliminary literature review. You need to back up your passion for the topic and the research with solid literature that supports the topic. For example, literature that supports the fact that further research needs to be carried out in that area. You need to show that there exists an information gap which your research seeks to fill. The wider the variety of literature review you have carried out, the more solid and convincing your concept paper will be. Okay? Mas maraming review, mas convincing. Diba? Kunwari, may mas marami kang mga sites, mga references, pag mas marami kang theory, para mapatunayan mo ang isang concept, ang isang question, mas convincing. Take note of that. More solid and more convincing. Next. State the research goals or objectives. It is also important kahit kapag nagtuturo, di ba, kapag natututo kayo, dapat alam niyo yung objectives. You should know the goals for you to know how to attain that. For us to know what activities should be deliver. Okay? Kung anong technique ang gagamitin, anong methods and approaches. This is the broad statement or statements of what the research seeks to achieve. Okay, 'di ba? Nga sabi ko sa inyo kanina, dapat may curiosity ka, 'di ba? May curiosity ka about the topic. Ngayon paano mo ma-unlock 'yon? Okay, that is your goals. Ano yung specific goals na yun or objectives? It should start with two. Kunwari, to elaborate the meaning of something, to enhance the skills of workers, to educate people. It should start with the word to and answer the question who, what, when, which, and how. Those WH questions. Who, what, when, which, and how. That is about the goals and objectives. Next, write down all the research questions. These are important as they will direct you on every research area. Diba yung kanina, sabi list down all the questions. Ito na rin yun. Dito natin ma-apply yon here sa format na ito. In number 6, you have to jot down all the research questions. For example, the type of data to collect and how to analyze it. Make sure you have exhausted all the questions for the research to be complete. Anong mga questions na dapat masagot? Next, the research hypothesis. What is hypothesis again? This is an educated guess. The research hypothesis stem from the research topic or the research questions and are, therefore, easy to draft. They are a statement of the situation you anticipate based on some prior knowledge you have. Ano yung mga alam mo about that. Even before you carry out the research. Even before, bago ka pa magkaroon ng curiosity, bago mo pa makapag-build ng questions mo, okay? Dapat may ilagay mo doon yung nasa educated guess mo or hypothesis mo, yung knowledge mo about doon. The research seeks to find out if these hypotheses are true or not. Okay. There should be a positive and a negative hypothesis for each statement given. Dapat may positive and negative balance. A positive hypothesis agrees with the statement in question, while negative hypothesis opposes it. Diba? Bumabaliktad doon. Yun yung negative. Pag positive, ibig sabihin, ina-approve niya. And negative, disapprove. At the end of the research paper, you will either accept or reject your positive hypothesis based on your findings. Okay? Kahit yung writer, pwedeng magbago yung pananaw niya. Next. Number 8, state the methodology you intend to use. The research methodology states the how, the question how, of carrying out the research. It details the research design, that is, what kind of research you intend to carry out. You can either carry out here an exploratory design and seeks to expound on the area of study that you have an idea in order to understand it better. An explanatory design, that is exploratory here. Next, explanatory design. It is intended to explain. While exploratory, from the word itself, to explore. Explanatory design seeks to carry out an in-depth study on a certain area or idea that was not tackled in depth. It mostly requires the use of qualitative methods of data collection. What is again qualitative methods? You are getting the qualities, the characteristics, okay? And lastly, a descriptive research that seeks to find out the relationship between two variables of data you need. It uses analysis methods such as mean and mode, that is descriptive. Number 9, a timeline for completion of each element of the research project. Undertaking a research can take a very long time if not well planned for, and it is therefore important to lay out just how much time you may need to complete each element for the research project and ultimately the whole project. In this section, you need to set a time frame that is realistic. Sa tingin mo, kasi nga sinabi kanina, di ba? Kapag mas maraming questions, mas maraming time. Pero mas convincing kapag napatunayan. Dapat you have to set a time frame. Can you do that within 6 weeks, 9 weeks? Okay. Next, Upline Citations. to avoid plagiarism of ideas and plagiarism of language. Always remember to give credit to any sources you may have sourced your information from. This can be done within the document or at the end of the concept paper. But while you are having a research, you have to jot down your references, the sites you visited, okay? And compile it after or at the end of the concept paper you have. To sum it up, we discussed today the concept paper. What is a concept paper? It is the summary of a work or an idea. How to make a concept paper here? First, come up with the research topic that genuinely interests you. Next, write down the research questions you need to research on depending on the idea you have chosen. Develop a research hypothesis from each of research questions that you have listed. In each question, you have to make an hypothesis. Identify the kind of data you need to answer these hypothetical questions and how you will gather the data, your technique, right? And lastly, identify how you will analyze, interpret, and present the data. That is how you make your concept paper. And the structure of a concept paper: first, the title page. Second, introduction and statement of the problem. Number 3, value of your study. Number 4, a preliminary literature review. Number 5, state the research goals or objectives. Number 6, write down all the research questions. Number 7, the research hypothesis. Number 8, state the methodology you intend to use. 9, a timeline for completion of each element of the research project. And lastly, outline citations. Okay, like here, my citations, I have my references here where I get these ideas and these concepts about our topic. Okay, that's all for now. I hope you understand our lesson. In addition, about our examination next week, the schedule are not yet settled. Hindi pa sigurado kung anong araw. Pero be prepared. Have a review and take your time to read again our learning module from week 8 to week 13. You can read our learning module. You can play again our discussion. You can check your quizzes, our activities that could be part of our exam. Your exam will be 50 items, 2 points each. And good luck everyone, and advance congratulations. That's all for now. Thank you and keep safe.